Pioneer Spaceship Music Collective. This is Six Set Bro, a misguided adventure through the social fringe of the music industry. I'm your host, Dom Maple. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Six Set Bro, a music and entertainment podcast. I'm your host, Dom Maple, joined as I always am by my brother from the same mother, Mr. Magical Mystery Magic Money Mike. Everybody, Money Mike in the house. Also joined by the Enigma himself, black cap wearing black cat, Andrew Fernandez.
I only have black caps.
True.
Black caps.
I've never seen you in
I've never
any
seen
other.
myself.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a colored hat in my life.
No, don't do colored clothes
I
very
have
well.
colored caps, but I always tend to favor the black cap, to be honest.
It's a classic.
I have to ask, Mike. Sorry. I know the final picture on that shirt is Van Gone. What does the middle one say?
Van going.
Ah, fuck. That's what it was. I've been trying to discuss.
I get it. I know.
It's
funny. Yeah, everybody, welcome to the show. We took a break last week. Mostly due to me. My son, he was just turned a year old. It was his birthday, and then like the worst thing that happens to a baby whenever it's their birthday is they have to get their shots. So that had to happen, and he was kind of out of sorts too. So it just seemed like a good idea to just postpone the podcast for like 1 week, do the birthday, inject needles into him, and then get back to it this week. So
any superpowers developing yet, or
not yet, but we are hoping for an X-Man. one X-Man, please, is what I said whenever I went to the doctor. And but no, so far he's just crying a lot. So not really a superpower. Just
who is the youngest X-Man?
X-boy, X-baby. I don't know. I made that up. I don't think that's real.
Here, I seen a post Ryan Reynolds put up today. I thought it was
yes. Did you see that? I seen that.
It was quite good. He was getting his vaccine, and he says finally getting 5G.
5G.
Yeah, finally getting 5G. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. But yeah, we're back at it again this week, everybody. We got some stuff to catch up on. I think it's always weird because it's a weekly music and entertainment podcast. So if it goes longer than 1 week, there's too much that happens, and I lose myself.
Good luck, I can remember yesterday.
Yeah, that's how I feel. It's all kind of just a blend, and then I feel like I end up only talking about the stuff that happened yesterday. I have like a whole 14 days to pluck from of news, and I will just talk about what I heard yesterday. And we'll probably still talk about that for too long, longer than anybody should. But there's a couple of things I've noted down to talk about on this episode, and that would be the things like the Death from Above, 1979, new record there dropped. We got new music from Brockhampton, an interview with Kevin Abstract from Brockhampton with Rick Rubin. I watched that a couple of days ago, and a lot of controversy around Lil Nas X and his
blood
music
shoes
video and his blood shoes. Yes, all this and more on today's show. Thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you would so kindly. That would be great. You can follow us on Spotify at Six Set Bro. So, Ken, I have not spoke to you guys in a while. Anyways, I know this is quite recent news, but I suppose I'll start there because it's like the elephant in the room with the music industry at the minute. But have you guys seen this Lil Nas X music video? It's all right if you haven't. I can definitely describe it to you.
I've
but
seen clips.
Please do that.
Clips.
I've
seen clips.
Give me a description. Give me a rundown.
Are you saying this intentionally because you know how weird it is? And you want me to talk to you about it?
No.
Or else?
To
That's okay.
be completely honest, no, I haven't seen it. But I probably would have asked you for the description anyway.
Yeah, fair.
Just to see what What happens?
Oh, how do I explain this? So for any of the listeners that doesn't know, Lil Nas X, first of all, is the Old Town Roads guy. As most grandparents will know him as. Oh, that's the Old Town Road guy. So things took a turn with this song. For people that thought he writes fun cowboy music, not really. Not that was more of the one-off, I think. But
There's a lot of grandparents saying we've been sold a lie.
yes, yeah. So the people are not happy. I think a lot of people don't know that Lil Nas X is openly gay as well. And he's he tries to push that in his music and try and speak up and be heard about it. So this song in particular that he released, both the song and the video, pretty much seems to be focusing on the fact that where he was raised, there was a lot of religion pushed on him that he couldn't be himself because he would go to hell. This sort of thing of like you can't do any of that, you're gonna burn in hell, whatever. So the video is very religious, a lot of religious imagery in it, in a super like creepy way. It's one of those things with like weird prosthetics like on his face. Like he's in the Garden of Eden at the start, and then there's like also him playing the snake, but he has like a weird sort of prosthetic thing on his head where he's meant to be the snake. I don't know. It was very creepy. But this is all done while he's wearing a lot of kind of over the top like glam outfits. Lots of leather and stuff, and he's kind of like dancing around. I think it all just the culmination is that the end of the video results in him pole dancing down to hell. He thinks he's going to heaven at first, and then he gets kicked out, and he rides a pole and like pole dances his way down to hell, then goes to the devil, and then lap dances on the devil, which is really weird.
Sold. I'm watching this as we speak.
And then he kills the devil at the end by breaking his neck. So a lot goes down, and then he takes the devil's crown and wears it as if he's the devil now. I don't really know what that meant.
Yeah, what does it all mean?
What does it all mean, Basil? I told you what it means. It makes sense. He knows what he's doing. Like Lil Nas X is a well-known troll, by the way, which people should know. He knows how to trigger people, and yeah, I think he just enjoys it. So he did all that, right? And people are obviously outraged. The stupid people that were like, I love that Old Town Road song. What a good guy. And then he's like, no, I'm gonna lap dance the devil. Which he's doing it intentionally to call these people out and like let them show themselves, I guess. But the funny thing is, then afterwards he did this sneaker deal with Mischief, who are this sneaker company. They're one of these like.
I could say.
The best thing I can explain them, like they're a bit like Supreme or Fuck Jerry. They're one of these stupid brands that like I think profit off being ridiculously exclusive and out there. Like if you go to the Instagram page for Mischief sneakers, there's like one picture and they follow one person and their bio just says do not follow us. And it's like they're one of these people, right? So they released this shoe in collaboration with Lil Nas X called the Satan shoe. And it's got like a pentagram on the tongue of it. And apparently, I have not researched this any further, but what the claim is that there's human blood in the shoe. So like, if you actually see the advertisement video for it, it's like you'll see Lil Nas X holding the shoe up, and whenever he tips it, there's like liquid in the the clear bit in the bottom of the sneaker. So obviously it's not all. I think they said it's meant to be a drop of human blood in it or something. But they also released a shoe previously, like I don't even know how long ago it was, and it was meant to have holy water in it. So it's just a lot of crazy shit. But then people got even more upset. So
it's just got to the lap dancing scene.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Are you traumatized yet?
Here, man, the budget for this video must be incredible.
Isn't it
The
insane? Yeah.
special effects and stuff.
I
Oh
was
my
thinking
God.
that whenever I watched it, I was like, Jesus Christ, right? Okay. And the funniest part of all was I was trying to explain this to my wife like last night. And I was explaining this video to her and why it came about. And I said, "Do you want me to put it on?" She was like, "Do you say like the devil's in it?" It's like, how scary? What level scary is the devil? And I was like, "Well, not really. I mean, he's lap dancing on the devil." She's like, "No, no, I don't think I can watch anything with the devil before bed." It's
So like
To me, he's
Tenacious
kind of
D
like
Devil.
yeah, I was thinking Tenacious D or like South Park Satan kind of
yeah.
style.
Pretty much. It's just funny. That's just Sarah, though. It's like we can't watch anything remotely with any eeriness before bedtime, or will haunt our dreams. I'm more haunted by the fact Lil Nas X was lap dancing on the devil than anything. It's just
Here,
whenever he's
man,
looking directly
that,
into the camera,
that pole dance slide was impressive.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was something.
that was something.
That was something. Yeah. So then people are pissed about the shoe, and it's like, oh, he's
Also,
like the devil worshiper.
Nike is also pissed about the shoe
Well, Nike are
because
because it
it's
has
not their shoe.
no, it's not their shoe and it has a Nike swoosh on it. For some reason, I mean that was weird. So now Nike are suing Mischief. But then just to like cap it off, to show the type of person that Lil Nas X is, he like put a video on his YouTube channel that's like an apology video. That's what the thumbnail looks like anyway, and it's him and he's like wants to apologize about the shoe and the video, and he's like, I just wanted to say sorry, and I wanted to, and then it just cuts into the part where he's lap dancing on the devil again.
He's good at what he does.
He is good. It's a pretty good troll. It
See, I
just
appreciate
cuts right
that.
off. Yeah, it was good. So yeah, what a
That's
guy,
not
man.
a bad looking shoe.
I was just
It's
about
not
to
a
say,
bad
I just
looking shoe.
googled them. I actually quite like them.
They're pretty good, but good luck buying them. Like, I mean,
not a bad-
that's a
well,
big
yeah.
chance. They're probably gone now as well. That's just that type of thing that company does. But they are pretty badass looking, and there might be blood in it, so that's cool. That's like the sequel to There Will Be Blood. There might be blood.
There might be blood.
It's like
There
the Billy
was
Bob,
blood.
It's like the Billy Bob
Who's
Thornton
Who's
thing
getting
or-
paid to supply blood for Lil Nas X's shoes?
That was my question. It's like, is it his blood or where did we get this blood
Where are we
from?
getting this blood from?
Where are we getting this blood from, fellas? That would be my first question as an entrepreneur, such as Lil Nas X, walking in. It's like, you want to partner up on a shoe? Be like, yep, we got this idea. And it's like, devil because of your video. And it's like, yeah, I like that. There's going to be a pentagram on it. I like that. There's going to be human blood inside it. I'm not so sure about this part. Where are we getting the blood from, fellas?
Should
That
we
would be,
also
that would be my question.
Should we also be putting human blood inside shoes in the past year when there's been a pandemic?
Yeah.
It's another question I don't think anybody's asked.
This is probably how it all comes around again. Although Mischief, I feel, will be one of these companies that, like, at the end of this year, there will be like a COVID shoe. And there will be like the last person with COVID, their saliva it's in the sneaker. It's like, oh, okay, hold on to a piece of history forever. It's like, okay, psychopaths.
Also, don't follow us.
Don't follow us. And how about just don't make shoes, guys? It sounds like you should be put in a jail cell somewhere, far away from everyone. Who has these ideas? Holy water in shoes and blood in shoes? That's weird, man. I don't know. I mean, it's all just marketing, right?
Yeah, Gene obviously before the pandemic, but Gene Simmons was spitting all over people back in the day when there was like AIDS running about.
Iggy Pop was vomiting on people in crowds. Exactly. I mean,
Billy Bob Thornton had a little fucking Angelina Jolie's blood on his necklace for an award show at one point.
Well, that's...
Do you not see that?
Weird.
You not see that?
I don't care how close you are. Carrying around someone's blood is a bit strange.
It's a celebrity gimmick, I guess.
Celebrities. Celebrities do the craziest things. There should be, it's like the kids say the darndest things. Celebrities do the darndest things. Like want to eat people. What was that guy's name? That wanted to be a cannibal or something.
The German guy?
fuck, I don't even know. I didn't know him that well. People knew who he was, and I was like,
Was it the guy that put there was like a advertisement on, I don't know, whatever, Craigslist or something, goes, "I want to be eaten," and then the guy replied.
No.
No, you're talking about like somebody that actually had some form of celebrity.
Yeah, no, he was actually highly rumored to play Batman. You know, like the new Batman that Robert Pattinson got in the end.
Oh yeah.
I forget this dude's name. Oh, I knew it at the time. I feel bad. People are probably screaming it at their TVs right now, but he's like relatively famous. I just hadn't really seen him in anything. I think he might have been in The Social Network or something. But apparently there was all these leaked images and texts that came out where he seems to be like a real like sexual deviant creep, and there was indication that he wanted to like drink people's blood and shit. And I was like, all right, okay, Hollywood. All right, Hollywood. That's cool.
Oh dear.
Yeah. See people that say they want to be famous. Nah, it's okay. I think it's all right. I think I would downplay that shit. But that was the talk of the town, everyone. So tell us what you think in the comments. You want some shoes with blood in them? You want to lap dance on the devil and break his neck? You think it's cool? Do you like the song? The song's actually pretty good, to be honest. Although it's the last part of it I paid any attention to. I was like, oh yeah, there's a song involved in all of this.
So distracted by the visuals.
Man, that's damn good marketing though. And this is the thing, is like nobody would have given a shit about this. They would have been like one hit wonder Old Town Road. And it's like now the people who are trying to slander him are just promoting him every 2 seconds. It's great. And it's
see, that's one of the things that I love the most about that is
people know, it's just like people know to do it.
You strip everything else back, like the music, whether you like the actual song or anything else, is like that guy is being smart. He's taking the people that absolutely hate him and he's using them to make him money and get him more famous. It's like how much better could that make you feel? Like
I know
that is so good.
Hey, do you know I have a story that's a feeling that I think is on par with that. Pretty close for a normie like myself. So I was driving to my house the other day, and my wife calls me, and she's like, "I'm just warning you, there's a lot of cars down here today, like way more than usual, because my house, it doesn't have like a driveway or a garage or anything, so I'm on street parking, and there's always a space outside, there's always the right amount of cars, so there's like always somewhere for me to park, and I got a parallel park just as a bonus. That's always fun." And so I'm being told there's no spaces. There's like 5 extra cars down here for some reason. You're not going to get a space. And I was like, great. She was like, you're going to have to drive like way on up. That's the closest spots I can see are like way up the road. I was like, all right, doesn't really bother me that much, whatever. And then as I'm getting closer to home, I'm only like maybe 3 minutes away. She phones me again and she's like, oh, I'm just letting you know, one of these cars, the one directly outside of our house, is leaving. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. So they drive away, and then I pull up. But, well, I'm not really telling this in the right order. They drove away. Sarah was on the phone to me at the time. I never saw them drive away. What I didn't know was, for some reason, wherever they went, they were behind me. So I'm driving up to my space. I don't know where they went for like 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever the hell it was, but they were trying to get back in the space, and I didn't know it was them. But I just pulled up, done one smooth transition parallel park right in, and they just stopped in the middle of the road, and I was like, that was those guys that were in my space. So then they're just stopped beside where I have parked and didn't know what to do, and then they drove off the other way, and then they came back again and stopped on the other side of the road right beside where I've parked, and then I got out and intentionally went into my house where I'm like, my house, bitches. Like, just go away. Like, I'll open the door wide to be like, I live here. That's why I parked here. And then they drove off. So the funnier part of it all is it's because somebody on my street was having a birthday party, which, pandemic rules, they shouldn't have been. So that's already kind of annoying. And that's why there were so many cars there. So really just the sweet, sweet icing on the cake was that they drove off. and they had like a bunch of balloons and stuff in the car that they would have had to have brought to the house, and now they're parked far away. The minute I walk in the door, torrential downpour, baby. Torrential downpour. And I have been enjoying that for days and days. So much. More than anybody ever should. But I like to think that's similar. I think me and Lil Nas X have a similar feeling going there.
What? Yeah. I can definitely see the comparisons.
It's just tasty. It's a sweet, sweet revenge. It's just like, oh, karma, you dicks.
I'm more worried about poor little Timmy, whether his birthday balloons got to him or not.
Nobody called Timmy on this street, my friend. There's no little Timmys. Everyone's quite elderly, except for me. I'm young and cool still. I'm the only one with a child on this street, I'm pretty sure, as well. So, nope, they should know better. They should know better. Having birthday parties, middle global pandemic. What are you doing? What are you playing at? Smarten up, you dumbass. That's not even a segment, although I do have one. Time to get real, man. Time to talk shit about the things we can't stand. Ain't nobody out there's getting a pass. Smarten up, dumbass. Oh, that was so delayed, Andy.
I know, but I done it on purpose. I wanted to get
that's
yours.
okay.
Yeah.
My ball's already open, so I'm just doing the noise of pouring.
I don't have a can with me tonight. I don't know what
are you drinking.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing for once.
Oh my God.
I went to rehab, everyone. I'm trying to come down off some substance. I did pop a bunch of pills earlier before the show, so it's
people were worried. I think John Andrews was worried of escalation.
He was concerned of escalation. So what do we all got? I got nothing. Andy, what do you got over there? A Monster?
Monster
you going
now.
Exotic?
A bottle of water, and a coffee was here before.
Oh damn! It's kind of like
drinks, man. And it's Mike's favorite. It's the fucking.
What's that one called?
That's
like the Day of the Dead one.
It's like the juicy
mango
kind of one, is it?
Mango.
Yeah.
I had one called Mule.
Oh,
and
I've seen it.
Ginger.
Yeah, I seen that.
What color? Like, what color is that one?
It was a black tin with like gold writing.
Yeah, like dark gold writing on the front. It's new. I have seen it for the first time like 2 days ago.
Like I seen another new one that I'd never seen before, and it was at the front of Asda where there's
blue?
Like it's like a turquoisey blue. Yeah. But there was only one tin of it. It looked like somebody had picked it up and then like put it back in a different place that it didn't belong. And like, what even is this? I wanted to get it, but the tin was all dinted. And I was like, I don't know. This just looks like it's been abandoned somewhere. But it's like, it's a new color. I kind of want to try it.
I'm always intrigued by new flavors. That's why, like,
it was sugar-free. It was also sugar-free.
Oh, damn. That's why I wish we got that, if you ever watch YouTube videos, like, there's always, they're sponsored by, like, Bang Energy. Which is like an energy drink over there, and you can buy them by like the case load and stuff. But
that's too Instagram model-y.
Their flavors sound nuts though, because they're not flavors; they're just things. There's like one of them called like unicorn something. Like I'm just like that's not a flavor, but okay.
I feel like that's kind of like our reviews lately.
Yeah, that is true. What are you drinking, Mike? What do you got there?
I normally set myself a schedule and a limit, but I'm way past that now. I have I have the tall boy beers. I have Asahi.
Asahi.
And I'm currently on 3.
3.
It's probably like roughly 6 small bottles of beer.
Nice.
Yeah, that's plenty. I don't know why this is.
I apologize for this point of the podcast forwards. I apologize to everybody.
I just don't know why Smarten Up Dumbass has now began with seeing what we're all drinking, because a can opens at the end of the stinger. And we're like, so what's everybody drinking? That's not really part of it, but I guess now it is, because we keep doing it. But Smarten Up Dumbass is the segment within the podcast where I talk about stuff that kind of pisses me off. And it happens sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'm angry, sometimes I'm not. Mostly angry, mostly all the time. So this week, this is a bit of a meta one, everybody. Okay. What's really getting me this week is that somebody has stolen this segment, and it really pissed me off. I don't know if you guys ever watched the Tonight Show. Obviously, we're in the UK, so it's like we have to watch it in fucking clips on YouTube instead of the proper thing. But like Jimmy Fallon, the Tonight Show. Yeah. So just recently, in the last couple of days, they started this thing with the singer from The Roots, Tariq, I think his name is, and it's like Tariq's Irk List, and it is this segment. It's just PG instead, and I couldn't believe it when I seen it. I was like, he stole my bit. Jimmy Fallon came on our channel, watched this podcast secretly, seen the bit, took it, gave it to the writers, and Tariq did his own, and it was better. Damn it!
I mean, he's been doing that since SNL anyway. He's just waiting on other people's jokes and then just going.
I was gonna say we just need to take solace in the fact that we are influential. We can't help
influential. We're influencers. You know what I mean? We are chat. Yeah. We are fucking Chet Hanks.
We are. So Jimmy Fallon, if you're watching, because I know he is, he's watching right now. Stop stealing my material. I know it's you. So just get the fuck out of here and smarten up, you dumbass. Time to get real mad. Time to talk shit about the things we can't stand. Ain't nobody out there's getting a pass. Smarten up, dumbass. I do have to say though, out of like all the late night hosts, I think I like Fallon the best. I genuinely do. I don't think people rate him as much as some of the other ones, but like Kimmel sometimes bores me a little bit. Stephen Colbert bores me a little. Conan's all right.
I kind of would agree with you, but I have a soft spot for Jimmy Fallon from like the SNL days, and yeah, like, I love like the thing that I appreciated most about him is that guy can't like do an on-screen joke without like laughing, and that's what makes it funnier.
It does. It's infectious.
Laughing and looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Classic. I don't know. I liked it though, and I think it's been really good during the pandemic. To be honest, I actually think it gave like it was make or break for a lot of late night shows, and it's like I think his did a lot better like from that because like they had to make do with what they had. Because even the guy that does the mic at the side, forget his name, but he sort of does the banter back and forth with Jimmy Fallon. He was like high risk, so he couldn't even be there. So then that's why that guy, the lead singer of The Roots, and kind of the band of The Roots in general, almost became his like banter people instead, which was a bit more unusual, but it really worked. I don't know, it was good. They made do. Props to them.
It just goes to show how bad night television is. Do you
I
see
enjoy
how
it.
bad the fucking Skype from home trying to do a nighttime TV? It's like you can't even sort audio out, and you're professionals. What is going on there?
I know. That's what I don't know. Well, I think they did well whenever they were doing it from home, and then they obviously went to a smaller studio with no audience. But it was just because you could have all these bits of all the stupid shit that people were doing, such as Cat Lawyer. That's still a favorite of mine, and that was pretty recent. That guy that has the cat filter on, and do you remember that?
No, I don't watch any of the late night TV show stuff.
Oh man, it was everywhere.
It's one everywhere. Of those viral things. Yeah.
It was just like a guy on an actual like court hearing, like because they had to do it on Zoom. Genuinely, accidentally put the cat filter on.
Oh yeah, there was a few.
But he couldn't turn it off, and then it was just like people kept telling him to, and he's like, "I'm happy to proceed," and he's just like, "No, I am not a cat." It's the quote was the funniest. It was like, "No, I am not a cat." I was like, yes, I think we're all aware of that. But it's the fact he was happy to proceed. That was quite funny. I'm happy to proceed. That's why he's got this kitten face on. I'm like, what an idiot.
Like the old people in the Zooms and stuff. And
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised there's not more. I feel like there is a lot of comedy and money to be made in like a proper TV show, like sitcom, that is just based through the pandemic, and it's just all through like Zoom calls.
like a
Like
format like this. Yeah.
I seen that some people did like kind of that thing. Like what's that thing called with like David Tennant does it with that
Yes,
other
that's
guy.
what I was gonna say. And it's
It's a
like
little bit like that.
it's a drama, but it's like
Yeah.
they're communicating during the
Yes.
pandemic through Zoom or something like that. Yeah.
I think there's probably a lot of comedy in that because it's relatable to the entire world. You know, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I wonder will
A
people relate to
sitcom
this?
about a podcast.
Yeah, that would be good. Maybe we should get on that. I don't know. I feel like I'm the ideas man. I got the idea. Somebody go and do something with that, and then I'll put you on Smarten Up Dumbass later whenever I'm like, they stole my idea. I could have made
Pandemic's nearly over anyway, so.
But here, Andy,
people still like it.
way
Remember
you
the
were
pandemic days?
the way you were saying about like even these professionals are getting this wrong, and it's like, does it not make you feel good though? Like it takes all these professional TV shows and like multi-million-dollar like late night TV shows, and it takes them down a peg, and it's like we deal with these technical issues on a weekly basis constantly.
True.
And like technology just fails us, and it's like, yeah, well, it happens to friggin' Jimmy Fallon and Ellen and
It's
whoever
just
else.
that when you see it stripped down so much, you're like, oh, you're boring in real life,
Yeah.
dude.
Really, the only thing that we are missing is money.
A giant stage and a celebrity that's not at home going, hello?
You're on mute. You're on mute. That was what was that thing I watched the other day? That shit cracked me up. It was like a Zoom call, and it was like somebody. It was like a guy had like a gavel and shit. I can't remember what it was for though. It was some kind of meeting or I don't know, something. But like the guy was like banging the gavel and stuff on the thing.
No, that wasn't that like church
No, this is
thing.
this is a different thing. Yeah, the church thing was ridiculous.
What did you call her? I can't remember.
Jackie, someone. You do not have power here, Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nuts. If anybody watched that, go look up. It was the parish Zoom call. It's better if you watch it. I can't explain it. No, it was something like that though, and it was like some sort of thing they were having. But a guy had a full on gavel.
I was gonna
because
say, like,
people.
What sort of ego do you have to come onto your Zoom chat with a gavel?
Well, I think it might have been something relatively important, like a government type hearing or something. I don't know, but the thing was people weren't going on mute when they should have been on mute, and they kept talking or things started happening, and every time it did, he was like banging the gavel. It was like, "Go on mute." Go on. I was like, "This is so funny, man." I wish I had one of those every time I had to do a business call on Zoom, because there's always at least one person who doesn't mute, and then they start moving stuff, and then the camera is just on them, and they don't know. That's the worst thing in the world.
This is the thing. Tell me, because like I've never had to do a mass call like that. Does the person that hosts it not have the power to just friggin' mute everybody?
I think they do, man. But the problem is
they probably don't know how to work.
They don't know what they're doing either. Yes, I know. That is the issue. I think most of the times, if you're the host of the Zoom call, I think you can mute people. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think they know what they're doing either. So
yeah, most Zoom calls, it's like whoever the highest in the hierarchy is has a shit background where every time he moves, half of their face disappears because of the whole thing. And it's like, can you mute, please? Can you mute, please? And then, like Stu says, there's somebody else just going.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get like an invitation to like one of these calls, it's like you join about half an hour after the start time, because it literally takes about 30 minutes to sort out all that shit.
And if you're in one of these meetings, this is what it's like. It's like blah 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 from like whoever the higher up, and everybody 10 people are just like this.
Yeah, that is I can attest to that because I have also been on that call too.
Or
nobody wants to say anything. Yeah, that's the angle you want there.
Well, can you Move your camera down, please, Anne. Sorry.
That is correct.
I'm gonna fuck up my camera now. Carry on.
Oh man, there's always somebody who's especially with their phone, is like they'll be in the different mode. Like if everybody else is in landscape, they'll be in portrait, and the portrait mode cuts them off or something, and you're just seeing mostly the roof, and you're like, what is going on? I don't know. It's been an interesting year, but yeah, I forget why I was even talking about that, but. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know how we got on to that.
I can't remember either. Yeah, what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, Brockhampton are back, which is cool. I love Brockhampton. They released a new single with Danny Brown called Buzzcut, and it's really good. I sent it to Andy earlier. Have you heard?
Listen. I haven't listened.
You haven't heard it.
I did listen. I literally only listened once today, but like I thought it was very, very, very good.
Yeah. I love Brockhampton, like, but I sat and watched. It was like a good, maybe 90-minute interview. I think it was that long anyway, or maybe it was just an hour. Of Kevin Abstract, from Brockhampton being interviewed by Rick Rubin. It was those, what do they call it, great conversations or something, run by GQ. They're on YouTube, but he's like, Rick Rubin's done them with Pharrell and Kendrick Lamar, and they're just like sitting out in his garden or something, just chatting, and Rick Rubin's being all zen and shit. It's cool. But yeah, it was interesting because like they talked about a lot of stuff, and I think the main thing that did kind of come up was the whole Amir being kicked out of Brockhampton thing, and how that affected the group dynamic, and how it's still affecting Kevin Abstract in particular, and kind of knocks his confidence a bit, and how he can lead the group properly whenever he had to do, like, kick out somebody that he's known since he was a kid. And yeah, I think things got a bit weird. He done that solo record in 2019, and it's a lot of talk about that and trying to know what to do now. Which is, it's cool that they're still making music, because it is a large group of people in that band, and it seems like it would be rife for falling outs. But they seem pretty good, and he's very open and honest about it. That's what's interesting about the interviews. Like, he very much opens up about the fact that he's been pushing people away in that group, and he's worried he can't lead them properly, and he thinks he's putting on all these facades for everybody, like what they expect of him and what they expect of the group and stuff like that, because he's a pretty young guy. I mean, a lot of them are in that band, so like, you know, he's like really trying to prove himself still. And of course, Rick Rubin's there with the Zen Sage Wisdom, which is, it's just a great watch. I would recommend it to anybody. And it sort of gives you an interesting insight into what might be coming for the next album.
Is it like literally just YouTube, or where?
Yeah, just YouTube. If you never watched the Kendrick Lamar one, that one's great as well. And it was actually before Damn came out, I think.
Yeah.
Like a good while before. And it was interesting because at the time, a lot of the stuff Kendrick had spoken about with Rick Rubin made sense to me once I heard Damn. There was a lot of stuff he was talking about in the... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I seen you post that the other day.
I was like,
damn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, literally.
Yeah.
Man, I remember that soundtrack my summer, like. That was...
It was great.
Hopefully this summer again, maybe.
Maybe.
But Rick Rubin's a really good interview anyway. Like, even when he does the broken record stuff, like when he does stuff with the Andre 3000 interview, when he done the Kenny Beats thing, it's like,
yeah,
who better to talk about music than that guy?
Oh yeah. He knows all, and I think he is very good at like centering himself. You know, it's like, how else could you have not gone mad as a producer at this point in your career? But interesting enough, they actually talked about Andre 3000 like briefly. I think Kevin Abstract was kind of comparing himself to him. It was one of these things. It's funny. It's actually something that I've said on this show before. It's similar.
Wait, somebody compared themselves to Andre 3000?
No.
What are you doing?
Well, yeah, sorry. That is not the right phrase. It's not that he compared himself to. It's that he was
Inspired by it,
influenced by something
Ah,
he said,
okay.
which is, like I say, something that I worry about, and I think I've said on this podcast before, which is, you should retire early. Obviously, different for him with stardom, but he was like, he heard Andre 3000 say, you should know when you're at the peak and stop. Like, I wish people knew when to stop. Um, which is something I was worried about. Is like, I might just stop making music at a certain point and just give up. Uh, but what Kevin Abstract, he was talking about that, and then Rick Rubin was sort of, he was just like dishing out the advice. So it was amazing. He was just kind of like, this is the thing though, that's him on his journey, and that's his, you need to take into account all the things that he's experiencing. He's like, Andre's on his own journey and he has his own things. I think he genuinely does want to be making music. I don't think he wants to retire. I think he wants to be in there, but he has a lot of struggles himself with what he thinks people expect of him. But the problem is, it's not your journey. It's not what you need. You don't need to base your decisions off of what somebody else's
Yeah.
decisions are. Which I think it was just cool to see in real time. It sort of affecting him. It seemed like this young guy just wanted this wisdom from somebody who's been in the game for so long, and he was just sitting there wanting to sponge it all up. It
That's
was
the
great.
problem. It's like people look up to other people, and he obviously looks up to Andre 3000, but it doesn't mean that he has all the answers. And that is a very good like nugget of wisdom. It's like you're on your own journey, and it might be different for you. The one thing that I'm not going to go on like, but I just wanted to interject there, and it's so funny that Robert Smith in from The Cure,
Hmm.
in old interviews, had this exact same dilemma. He said about the whole thing where he didn't want to be making music whenever he was too old, but yet The Cure are touting a new album, and it's like you can't lose that love for it. And I think it's just kind of like, you know, as long as you don't lose the passion, it's like as you get older, maybe you could lose the energy for like being like critical about what you put out, and then like
Yeah.
you're putting out too much too quick sort of thing. It's like as long as you're still kind of like analyzing your output, and it's like I know for you, you're really really prolific, you're constantly making music all the time.
Yeah.
It's like as long as you're still like what's worth putting out, what's not worth putting out, as long as you're having that creativity and doing it for you, that's fine. But like whenever you're 60, 70 odd, you'll still be making stuff that's worth putting out. You will also be making stuff that's maybe not worth putting out.
Mm.
But I think it's more about that. For me personally, my thoughts on it
Yeah.
would be
What
kind
it
of like along that line. It's
it
like
it
analyzing what's worth giving to people and maybe what's just for you because you're a creative person and
yeah.
that it's what makes you happy is to be creative and get stuff out and try things. You know what I mean? That's personally the way that I would see it.
Yep. And the thing is, what you said is, and pretty much similar words as what Rick Rubin was trying to tell him. That's why I find it a really interesting thing to watch, because I really felt myself in Kevin's shoes during that interview. The stuff that he was worried about and the stuff that he was talking about. Obviously, he has the success, like, but I mean, it's the same things that I would think about, which is interesting just to hear somebody else come back with that stuff, because they said the exact same thing. Was it's you don't always need to release it either, and it needs to come as a form of expression from you. And then that's Kevin said something along the lines of he didn't want to be too self-indulgent, and then Rick Rubin's like, that's the joy of being an artist. You get to be self-indulgent. It's
Yeah.
you. You're the one that makes it. I wouldn't worry about that. It's about you at the end of the day. So it was really cool to hear. So yeah, I would recommend anybody to check out that interview. I thought it was really good, and it's very positive for anybody that is an artist out there.
It's funny. It kind of reminds me of there was like a conversation. Peter from Laps put a thing up on Facebook recently about like being called an artist by somebody and being a bit
Yeah,
taken back by that sort of label and stuff. And it kind of, to me, it kind of has like weird parallels with that. I can't remember exactly what I said to him. Like I kind of like made a joke of it and stuff, but I think the whole thing for me personally is like, don't don't worry about a label or don't put a label on it. Like, the whole artist thing, he was sort of saying like it makes you then kind of like stressed out. It's like I'm comparing myself to somebody that I think is like legitimately more successfully creative than I am. That's
Mhm.
an actual artist, somebody that has like billions of fans and like has sold records or paintings or whatever it might be, and it's like their creativity is appreciated. That's why they're called an artist. It's like don't get hung up on the label of artist or what that means. It's, you're a creative being and that's all that's important. Like putting stuff out is what's important to you. And I think that like for people like that, it helps them mentally
Yeah.
to like get stuff across in that way,
Hmm.
get ideas across in that way. And it's like don't don't worry about the label of anything, just keep doing what you do.
Yeah. And the thing you said about people like wanting to stop when they're older and things like that, it was another topic of that interview, and I wish I could remember who it was specifically they were talking about. I can't remember if it was Andre 3000, but I don't know. Say for like argument's sake, it was Paul McCartney. It was somebody like this that came up in the conversation who was a lot older and has been making music for decades. And obviously, Rick Rubin knows absolutely everybody for he's worked with everyone in the music scene, and he was like, I know that that person's still making music because they don't know what else to do. Like they
Yeah.
literally don't know how else to function. Is like I don't at that point it doesn't matter financially, it doesn't matter to prove themselves, it doesn't matter for anything else, but they've also been doing it their whole life and they have no idea what else they could do or what they want to do, and that's the way that they've always had to self-express themselves, so they just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it does come down to, like you said, and that's
It's
why I
all
do it.
in that moment, it's almost back to its purest form. It's
Yes,
not
yeah,
about
yeah.
anything else but
You don't have to worry
expression.
about,
Yeah,
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 and it's that is a beautiful thing. Like, certain people need that, I think, and that's super important. I know I need it, like, so it's weird. Whenever I don't get it, I don't even know what's bothering me, and then it's because I haven't sat and created for a while, and I always find it such a hard thing to say because it sounds pretentious as fuck, but it's true. It's something I gotta get out of me, I guess.
that's the thing though. Yeah, I get that whole hang up where like it does sound kind of pretentious whenever
I
like
must
there's
create.
there's not a good way to put it in English that doesn't sound douchey, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean. But like it's people other people that are creative kind of understand that. It's like I just the best way to put it like is to maybe make it sound stupid. It's like I don't care if it sounds absolutely like shit, but I need to do something. I need to feel like I've made something and I'm trying stuff and experimenting stuff. Whether it be like you can relate it to music, you can relate it to painting, drawing, whatever. Like even people that make games and like get into things as like binary as coding or whatever, they're being creative in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
like you need to get some sort of expression out of you, and it's like whether it's shit or whether people will somehow deem it like creatively successful. It
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. It's more, you, there's this weird thing. Um, Jade showed me this. I'm not gonna remember where it's from now, but there was this guy on Instagram, and I think he was a painter or something. And it was just like such a good. It was on his story or something, but it was just like such a good point that he made that I never really thought about it in that context before. And it was like, I think he was a painter, and it was like, people ask me all the time, am I good about paint or am I good at painting? And he's like, I hate whenever people ask me that question because he's like, if I enjoyed walking or running somewhere, it's like, would somebody ask me, am I a good runner or am I a good walker? It's
Yeah.
like, I that's not what I do it for. I do it because it helps me mentally, if you
Yeah,
know what I mean. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I can't remember if he was a painter or whether he was actually involved in music, but it's like, what are you asking me this for? It doesn't really matter if I'm good. I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing it because it helps me mentally and it expresses what I'm trying to express and it gets stuff out and whatever. It's like if it turns out shit, it's fine, but it's like I feel better after I've done it. You
Yeah.
know what I
Sure.
mean? Why should you be asking me whether I'm good at it or not?
Mm.
Doesn't Terry Bradley do like his paintings to like mentally cope with stuff
Yeah,
like
that's
depression
true.
and all that stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I would say that most people do. I just think it's a certain way of self-expression for things.
But
It's
I
not
think
always negative, but it can just be the way that people process emotions. And again, one of the things to pull from that interview that I just find interesting was like it's just because I could relate to it so much as like Kevin Abstract talking about like making this stuff and sometimes writing the words and not even knowing what he's talking about. And that's another one where it's just like I've been there. Sometimes I'm always there and I'm writing the words and I want to get the words right, the melody right and whatever. And then it's like in the context later, whenever you actually sit back and listen to it and you're like, "Oh, that's what I was writing about." Like you don't even know
mm,
yourself, which is what
yeah.
is a crazy thing to me. Is like some people know exactly what they want to do and it's planned line by line. I am more likely to let stuff go and then come back to it. And I suppose everybody could have their own meaning to it, but it's just funny that even at the time, I might not have known what I was trying to get at. And then I come back to it and I'm like, whoa, that's heavy, man.
Do
Like,
you know what I like about that though? That to me shows that like you're in a process and you're free and you're getting out exactly what you want to get out whenever sometimes you can't understand it and it just comes out. I have talked to some people and like myself included, whenever I try to sit down and like make music and stuff and do lyrics and all, sometimes people are too much in their head and they're thinking too much about the process and thinking too much about what is right and what is wrong to say. And a lot of times, like what you're saying there is like, you know, don't think about it too much and like get out. Yes, maybe it's like writing a story or a book as well. Maybe you'll have to self-edit, but just get out what's in your head first of all, even if one line doesn't make sense into the next line or whatever. To me, that's actually like creative expression, and that's
it
fine. And you
is.
can edit it down and boil it down afterwards. But like I just felt like I had to say that because I've talked to a couple of people that I feel like I kind of clicked with them where it was like it felt like me where I felt it okay to try and write music and do like guitar or instrumentation. It was fine. That part came okay. But then the lyrics, I was too much inside my head. And it
Mm,
was like, well, like if you're making a song, what do people want to hear? What do people want to listen to? It's like don't get hung up on that. It's
yeah.
like just say some shit, whatever. And it's like there was there was a thing that you said to me before. It's like, and I honestly, I've told this to somebody before, and it's like, it was, to me, it was a very valuable lesson, and it was a really, really simple thing to do. Is like, don't, even if people are like precious about like tracks where auto tune is too much in the forefront and you can hear it, it's like fair enough, you can drill that back afterwards. But if your hang up is all about hitting the right notes or like what you're saying or whatever else, and it's like you can't start trying to work out lyrics because you're thinking about so many other things that are
Mm,
drowning out just what you want to say, it's like
yeah.
whack auto tune up. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if
Yeah.
you sound like fucking Cher or something like that whenever you're,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just sing over your music. Like
Yep.
say whatever you're thinking about, whatever comes to your mind. Try and get a melody and stuff. And I remember you gave me that advice before, and it really helped me an awful lot because
Mm,
I was at that point where like I'm so much in my head trying to write something and
yeah.
thinking too much about it. It's
Yeah.
like,
And I think it's yeah, it's a useful. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But especially if you're just starting from scratch and you have a very basic thing that you're working from, I just think it's interesting to like, I mean, you can get an auto tune plugin and just put it on the key that your song is in, and then you can kind of just like let it go.
I
I mean, you
never
you
would
could
have thought about that
yeah,
before you said
you
it.
you can do it anyway, but I mean, obviously, you might not be hitting the notes that you want to hit and things like that, and you might not be able to envision something. But I like to put it on sometimes and just, you know, talk some garbage over the top of a track and just feel where I think the melody should be. And I don't even have to put that much effort into it because it's landed in the key it needs to. And then sometimes I hit it what would be a bum note, and autotune directs me to a different note I didn't mean to hit. And I'm like, shit, that's
That could
cool.
work.
And then I actually go back and try and sing it that way instead. So yeah, it's a fun thing to do if you have the time to do it that way. I think that's a fun way to work. But yeah, I suppose one thing I could transition over to, seeing as we're talking about this stuff, is that if anyone follows me on Instagram, you might have seen I shared a little snippet of the next Don Maple EP. So it's like so close, man, so close. It's almost there, and I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be good. I released a little snippet of the song that I collaborated with Sarah McCready on. She's been on the show before. Great artists. We always wanted to work together on something. This is probably more out there on the things, the sort of thing that we thought we would work on, but them's the breaks, I guess. It just went that way, and I think
Cool.
I took it further and further in a different direction. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and I'm really happy with it. I did all the instruments on that track and then sent it over to Sarah, and she wrote some awesome melody for it, and it's really cool lyrics, and she really like helped direct what that song was about. And and then I jumped on and did a verse on there too. So yeah, that one's done. That one's mastered and everything. And then I have a couple other songs on there that are just mine, and then I have the collaboration with Money Mike over there himself, Hungry Ghost, aka Hungry Ghost, introducing Hungry Ghost on this EP, which will be super fun. And yeah, that one's close. It's not done yet. It's really close. I thought I had it the other day, and then I realized that all my cymbals are way too loud. So I gotta dive back in, turn them bad boys down.
Absolutely love this. I swear to God, see, whenever I sent this to Stu, it was, to me, it was fine. Like
Sorry, I kept thinking I ruined it. I'm like, I'm gonna send this back to him. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck
No,
did you do?"
not at
Like,
all.
that's what
Not
I
at
did to
all.
Sarah's song as well. It's like it was so bare bones, and then I was like, "Let me add a bunch of stuff and see what happens."
I said to you in a text message, I feel like, and this isn't bullshit in any way. I feel like you actually legitimized the song. To me, like if I released it, I'd have been happy enough with it because it's just my own mixing, and like I'm very much still learning. I'm a good 10 years behind the experience that you've ever had in your life. But I was happy that I got a song from start to finish by myself and like put it all together, whatever, figured things out. Um, and it was fine. And I sent it over to Stu and I was like, can you like have like a first go over this or whatever, make sure like the mixing's okay, the volume's okay, and everything else. And it's like it was cool because it felt really good for you to say, oh, I think you've actually got something there. I want to like spend a bit more time on it or whatever. And then what you eventually come back with is like a fully realized version of what the song could actually be. And
Mm.
that's incredible for a start. That blew my mind whenever you sent me it back, and it was different, but it was like it's if I like I'm sitting in my room and like I'm making this song and a lot of it is like programmed drums and everything else. It's like if you wanted like a band to play it or whatever live and like make it sound huge, that's what you did. That's fine. But then he goes like one step further and it's like as like that's the final version, and it's like it's that meme where it's like the MP3 is like this is the final
Yeah.
version. Honestly, this time I'm not going to change it again. .mp3
Yeah.
because it's like I'm like, right, okay, I'm gonna try and get all the promo stuff together and stuff, and it's like I'm putting the track over like little video clips of like teasers that I'm gonna share and stuff, and then Stu's like, no, hold on,
Don't use that one. Don't
don't,
use that
no,
one.
not yet. It's like I've heard something else.
Yeah, there's something
It's,
else. There's something else.
and I
And at this,
swear to God, I so much appreciate like all the hard work
yeah,
that you
don't
put into
be
it.
silly, man.
It's
I,
so cool.
like I said, yeah, man, it's going on my EP, so I'll be reaping all those decimal points of pennies. So like, oh,
That's it.
I will reap the rewards for sure. Depends how many times it gets streamed. I might make a pound by the end of the year. I can split it with you if you want.
Yeah.
Make an NFT.
Yeah, well, let's make it into an NFT. Let's do that shit. We
Let's
could be
do that.
millionaires.
Here,
yeah.
we well, I'll not get into the capability of sharing screens or whatever, but do you know? I think this is maybe just a me and you thing, Stu. I don't know how many other people are aware of the comedian Flula Borg, the German guy.
German, yeah. Well,
He
they will
recently,
be very soon after Suicide Squad.
yeah, I don't know how big his part is, but
I'm
I hope it's
predicting
big.
he's gonna die instantly.
Yeah.
I'm fully prepared for him to die in the first like couple of minutes he's there. I think he'll have like a couple of lines and be blown up or something.
He put up a description of an NFT on his Instagram recently.
Oh Jesus!
I feel like it's only 3 minutes and it's a condensed version of us trying to explain it. I think he's done it better.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. I did. Did you guys see the SNL? Pete Davidson did Eminem explaining what an NFT is as well. That's
Oh
stupid.
no, I didn't. See
It's just fucking dumb. Jack Harlow was in it too. I don't know. SNL is hit or miss these days, like, but yeah.
Always has been.
I'm telling you right now, I flew the Berg.
He's a star.
Yeah, he is a star, but he is dying in that Suicide Squad very quickly because have you watched the trailer? No.
The new Red Band one.
Yeah, for Suicide Squad. You see the part where Harley Quinn has the javelin?
Yeah.
And his character is the javelin, and that makes me think that he is no longer around.
He doesn't survive that breakout where
I don't think
she
so.
breaks herself out.
Well, I just know that they released all the character cards, and at the bottom it says "Don't get too attached" on everyone's, and it's like, yeah, damn, Javelin is dying instantly.
I like the way that he's went about this. So like Suicide Squad, the cast list is incredibly large, like the amount of names on it, but it's also the Suicide Squad. Finally,
there's actually
gonna
die.
There's gonna be a lot of people that die in this movie.
I just need someone's head to actually be detonated. Like, I mean, this whole idea of they have implants in the back of their neck.
Head, yeah.
And it's like, if you do anything, we'll detonate your bomb. It's like, yeah, I need to see that happen.
That's like a battle royale.
Yeah.
What's it? The Japanese or Korean movie?
Yeah, battle royale, the original one. No, it's Hunger Games just ripped off, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody ripped off something. Harry Potter ripped off Lord of the Rings. It's all good. It's all good, everyone. Don't worry.
Martin up dumbass ripped off Peter Griffin.
That is true. You know what really grinds my gears?
It's all right. Jimmy Fallon
ripped off us.
Stole it from us.
I know. And so the world turns on. Right. I suppose we should do a shout out segment before we go, fellas. I think that would be a good idea right about now.
Shout out segment. Shout out
segment. Yeah, I know that Mike will have some beautifully colorful descriptions ready for you guys for his. So I guess just first of all, the Brockhampton song, I said, go listen to that. Buzzcut. It's really cool. Really enjoy that. Also, the Death from Above 1979 new record, the whole album. Go listen to the whole album because it is really good. And it is just it's just madness. I don't know how else to explain it other than it's complete madness from start to finish. Like, it genuinely is. It's like, I read somewhere somebody was like, this is what it would have sounded like if a metal band was recorded the same experimental way the Beatles were recorded. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty close. And also if it was the soundtrack to like an 8-bit video game sometimes. It's, it just sounds absolutely crazy.
To me, the person that got it right was the Punks That Run guy
Yes, the
that
Running Man review.
reviewed that while he was running, and so eloquently too.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know how that guy was so descriptive as he was sprinting through the woods, but like there was like analogies coming like right out of his ass, and
Yeah,
it was so good.
I know. What are they called again? So that's this guy literally reviews music while he's running, like jogging.
Yeah, I
You know,
think
like
it's
he goes
called
out to a park to run and then puts like his Fitbit on and an MP3 player and listens to an album and then loudly exclaims what he thinks about it
shouts over his headphones as he listens to it.
as he runs and listens to the songs and tries to review it on the go. It's
think-
an incredible idea.
I think it's called Punks That Run
Punks that
or
run.
something like that. There's a Facebook page or something, but like it's my new favorite thing.
Yeah.
I'm
He does have a review of that album, and if it doesn't make you go and listen to it, I don't know what will. But yeah, it just listen to the first song. If you listen to the first song and you're not hooked, I don't know. Maybe it's not for you.
There's classic Death from Above in there. There's new Evolution as well. It's great. There's a little bit of everything that you want.
Best album they've done in a long time, like. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll let you take it away, Mike, because I think I know we want to shout out Jordan Adetunji and one thing that I will mention, sorry, in this shout out segment, it's not out yet, so obviously can't comment on it too much, but there is a new single from Embarcadero, the band
I love that.
the band that we couldn't pronounce the name of.
I feel like,
Um,
do you have a guitar behind you? Do a little strum. Jigga-joom, Embarcadero.
There's a new single out from Embarcadero.
How do you spell it?
Cadero.
EMBARCEAROPQRSTUV. And it's called Teleflop. Yeah, I think it's called Teleflop or something. Which is, I don't know what that word means.
Sounds
That's
like
another-
a wrestling finisher.
Yeah, it doesn't. And he's got him with the Teleflop.
Oh, King! Oh, King! Teleflop!
It's the best line ever from JR is just, he's killed him! He killed him! And I was like, well, he didn't kill him. Okay.
My
calm
God,
down.
he's killed him.
My
He's
God,
broken in
he's
half.
killed him. He's broken in half.
Broken in half.
Oh,
The
dude.
king of over exaggeration.
He really was. Oh my God, he killed him. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but that single's coming on Friday, folks. So keep your ears and eyes open for that. If you follow the band on Instagram, you'll see all the little snippets coming up for it. And also one of my favorite bands of all time. I think their album's finally coming out on Friday. Flight, Flyte. I've been waiting a long time.
Seen
This
that.
second LP, been waiting so long for this. There's been some singles coming out, but it seems to finally be coming out on Friday. So I'm very pumped for that, everybody.
Those
But
guys have the voices of angels.
they really do, and they're sweet guys too. I got to meet them twice, which was
Yeah.
amazing. It was
I
great.
seen them with you once in HMB, and
Yeah.
or, no, sorry, it was
No, it was
Head.
in
Yeah,
Castle
before it
Ford in
closed.
Belfast.
Oh, do you
It was
remember
just interesting because
going
I
into
like
record stores.
it was one of those weird things, where you imagine that like I went to the show because I seen this band at Leeds Festival once, and with my wife, it was just the two of us there, and we were just blown away by them, and I was like, those guys are amazing. Their harmonies it was just the best harmonies I ever heard. That's all I kept talking about. And then I followed them, and I was like, these guys are awesome. They released their debut record, and then they performed in Moira Calling up in Moira, so it was pretty close by. And Sarah and I went to it, and we watched the show, and it's like one of these things where, as they're performing, like me and her are up at the front there, and I'm singing every word because I love these guys so much. Like they remind me so much of the Beatles in places, and I'm a big Beatles fan, so I'm like singing every word, and where you're like, they noticed me, and you're just like the that's not ever true at a concert. Well, they actually did, which is crazy. So like Will, the lead singer, came down afterwards while I was standing near the front, and he started talking to me because he was like, "Oh, I seen you guys were like really into it. It's like I seen you're singing all the words and everything." It's like I told him that I had seen them at Leeds, and then I was like, I've been following them ever since. And he wanted to talk about because the album wasn't out yet, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'd love to know what you think about stuff like that." Because I was like, I've been a big fan of their singles that came out before, which disappeared from all platforms because they decided to go a different direction. And I was like, there's a lot of those songs I miss, but I did notice that this new stuff has this real Beatles direction, and I'm kind of into that anyways. And he's like, well, that's an amazing compliment. Anyway, it's definitely something we're going for. Blah, blah. I don't know. We're talking for a while. It's cool. And then he was like, we're actually going to that place, Head Records in Belfast tomorrow to do like a record signing thing because the album comes out. And he was like, you guys should come. And I was just like, yeah, that would be awesome. Let's definitely do that. So then we went up, and then weirdly, Sarah and I were off like getting coffee somewhere, and then we were like coming down the escalator of Castle Court, and we were walking along, and then the next thing I know, Will just like pops up beside me and starts walking alongside me, and then the band was there, and yeah, it was really cool. They performed in Head, and we got a record signed, and had a chat with them. It was really nice, lovely guys. But yeah, their record's out on Friday, and I'm sure it's gonna be incredible as always. But yeah, we got to shout out Jordan. Jordan's our track of the week this week with his new song Angel. I'm sure Mike has some choice descriptive words for it.
I didn't actually write choice descriptive words
Did
for
you not
this one.
know? Oh,
No, because I felt like the video is so good. Have you guys seen the video for this yet?
The video is very powerful.
Yeah, so like if I tried to write anything, which is all tongue in cheek and it's all fun, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm never like taking the piss out of anybody or anything, but it's just like whenever I hear a song, it's like try and write a wee short story or something like that. It's like what comes to mind.
Yeah.
But it's like Jordan's song is like there's a video for it. There doesn't need to be any words to try and describe it, if you know what I mean.
No.
It's like the guys that done the video for that have hit the nail on the head. It's great. It's like a little short movie. The video is great. The song is so incredibly catchy, but like what else would you expect from Jordan right now?
Yeah.
Every single thing that he brings out at the minute is an absolute banger. So like track of the day, completely deserved, 100%.
Yes.
That guy is going to be massive.
Yeah.
We've
I
been
stick by
saying that
that.
since like
A long time ago.
whenever we started this podcast,
Yeah.
3 years ago or something.
Which is a song I don't even think exists anymore, which is like the first song that we
Here,
heard.
it exists on YouTube, but the video is not there anymore. Because
Oh, man.
I was looking it up. I was trying to just make sure like all research all right and stuff. It's like, did I get the track name right and stuff? Whenever like we've been a fan from like back in the day, whenever he dropped his
By
first
Myself.
single,
Yeah.
By Myself, and it's like, I was like, oh, the video is not on YouTube anymore. You know what I was thinking? Because like I was talking to Jade about it. It's like, is it taken down because they were like they were like in some sort of like industrial area or something? It's like,
Yeah.
was that like back when maybe he wasn't supposed to be there or something? Was it
Maybe.
was
I
it
don't
was
know.
it taken down because it was filmed illegally or something like that?
Could be. Or I
'Cause,
mean,
like,
there's also the fact that the Harlan Wolf cranes are in the background, and maybe it's too rooted in like where you're from or something. Like maybe
Yeah.
it should be more universal. But I would say I could be very wrong about this. I don't know if is the song on his Spotify or anything still. Do you know?
I don't know. Yeah, is it maybe that he's kind of like
You might
going a
just
different
decide,
direction?
yeah, that's the older stuff, and you want to streamline it because a lot of people do that. Like that band Flight I just talked about. Some of my favorite songs from them still exist in the recesses of YouTube, but they're not on their Spotify or their page.
By Myself is still on Spotify.
Still on Spotify. I don't know why the video's gone though. Oh well.
Yeah. That's an incredible song.
Oh yeah.
Just go and listen to anything by Jordan Adetunji.
Yeah. He's the man, and that video it's strong. You would just need to watch it. I don't think it would do any good.
You're not gonna
explaining it.
understand. Yeah, like just go and
But
search it out.
it will it'll pull at the heartstrings a little bit. Like it's
So-
very good.
my one shout out that I did have with my stupid overly descriptive short story esque description
Here we go.
is yeah, prepare yourself. 3-4 beers deep. This is gonna get bad. I apologize right now. Queen Bonobo. We're well aware of Queen Bonobo. We've reviewed a couple of tracks for her and stuff, and me and Jade seen her live at a Output Belfast show. I think it was Output. Anyways, she was playing up in Start Together Studio in Rocky O'Reilly's studio, with like a full band, piano, and everything else. Very, very cool. But she's otherwise known as Maya Goldblum, and she's an artist from North Idaho who relocated to Ireland in 2016 to study music of her ancestral roots. She lived abroad for 3 years, taking much from the experience and lending it to the creation of her latest EP, which is called Sail From This Life, which was recorded a week before leaving Ireland. The first single from the EP is titled Throw Me In, and it's a dream of a meandering folk / jazz fusion. It sounds a bit like May is sitting atop a grand weathered old boat. The waves rock the vessel back and forth as the salty sea air scents this nautical scene. She lifts an elaborately ornate leather-bound storybook from her person and opens to read a passage from its blank pages. The words are not yet written, but she draws you in with every vivid description. Somewhere in the distance, on the bow of the ship, Kate Bush conducts a string section of forest animals in human clothing as they score the stream of consciousness that emanates from Queen's lips. Somewhere inside the cabin, Fiona Apple hears the song coming through one of the open windows. She smiles quietly to herself as she slowly fills her lungs with the humid sea air. It's a good song.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's what I heard.
What the fuck was that?
That's what I heard. I don't know.
You know, something like that.
Yeah.
Imagine going into the studio with that. So what kind of style are you going for here? Well,
Let me tell you.
God help us if Mike ever enters the studio with me wanting to record an EP.
Next week,
I just wanted
What-
to sound a little bit like this.
Produces novel.
next week could probably be worse because you'd be playing Disco Elysium.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
That's exactly the mindset. I was listening to that. I was like, yeah, it doesn't sound weird at all.
That's actually true. That's like those voices that talk to you in that game. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, me and Andy were talking about this before the show. Disco Elysium is like a really full depth in RPG game where like you do dice rolls and stuff to find out whether you can do one thing or another. But you play as this character is like a cop, and he wakes up and he doesn't remember who he is. But like depending on what like character you pick, you have different facets of his consciousness talking to him. So like either like his ego or his empathy or his pain threshold, his sensitivity, whatever. And it's like they all have these different characters. And it's like, oh, I don't think that maybe you should ask that question or whatever. So like I understand and I get that comparison.
Yeah. Like telling you to punch kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I have that thought process every day. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, everybody. I think we'll call it a night. It's been great getting back at it again.
So go home. We love you. You're very special.
Who is that guy?
I can't remember. I think at one point he mattered, and then he doesn't anymore. Oh, that's the intro. Meant to play the outro, everybody.
You can start again.
Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. This has been 6epbro. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's my birthday tomorrow, so wish me a happy birthday on all my socials. Don Maple on Instagram, Twitter, Follow all of us, and we will see you next week. Have a good Easter, everybody. Hope the Easter Bunny doesn't murder you. Gotta get those Easter eggs. Gotta get those Easter eggs. Get those Easter eggs. Gotta get those Easter eggs. Gotta get those Easter eggs. You gotta get those Easter eggs. Gotta get those Easter eggs. You gotta get those Easter eggs.